The Waterfront Task Force, which is a joint project of the town of Chestertown and Washington College, is expected to release its report within days of the election. How do you, as the new mayor, see the task force report being presented, reviewed, evaluated, and implemented to the various town constituencies, including the business community? And let's call on Mr. Serino first.
Well, first of all, I would like to say that, in my view, there's a lot of little things that can happen to augment our business situation in town, but if there's one thing that's a potential game changer, if done properly, it's the potential on that waterfront. And I think it's going to be critical that whatever the task force presents is going to take collaboration by Washington College and the town leaders of Chestertown. If you could create a waterfront where you had a restored marina, a foot trail that went from High Street to the Armory and back, that then tied that experience to the downtown experience of Chestertown, that would be a win-win where you not only had a revitalized waterfront and a downtown marketplace, but the two were tied together. In terms of how they present their report, I think they would first come to the town council to give their findings, but they also should go to other interest groups like DCA, like the minority communities in Chestertown, like the senior communities in Chestertown, so that everybody's involved. I think, frankly, there's been a little bit of concern that there hasn't been a whole lot of public input into what is being discussed about that waterfront. And the reason it's concerning is because whatever happens down there affects each and everybody in this room, each and everybody on the outskirts of town, and each and everybody throughout Kent County, because we can and should be an economic hub, not just for getting people to come here, but to drive business elsewhere. So I would hope that they would present it to every concerned citizen group that was interested, and then we can collaboratively work on a financing mechanism and get this project implemented in a way that's helpful to everybody.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson-Brown.
Right now, I am not too certain that I am really into the marina. First of all, I have not done a lot of research in this area. Secondly, I'm wondering what it's going to do to help all of the people in Chestertown, not just the business association, but everyone else. Is it going to bring jobs to help out with those people that are out in the street looking for work to do? Are we going to have housing out there that's going to bring in some type of revenue? Are we going to have a business that's related to the marina? And if so, what is the price? I'm not sure that our folks will be able to benefit from that. Perhaps you guys will, but about the rest of the town, I'm not sure. Because I think what we're doing, we're looking at downtown and not so much the rest of Chestertown. So if it is going to bring in the revenues that you all are looking for, then perhaps I can buy into it. But for right now, I'm not really sold on that.
Mr. Heyman.
I think presenting the logical first place would be the town council meetings, but then I think that it also needs to go out and take it to the communities in any way possible, whether it's going to a church or to the college or someplace to bring in local residents in a more convenient place. It also needs to go out in various means, whether about the internet or in the paper, and it does have to be a win-win situation. It's got to benefit the town just as much as it benefits the college, and so I think everybody needs to have their input to make it so that it's going to be a long-term benefit to everyone that's a stakeholder in the waterfront.
Mr. Fletcher.
This is my favorite topic. The waterfront is a masterpiece in the making. You either have a waterfront or you don't. We got one, and it's a beauty. That waterfront, when it's up and running, it's one of the most beautiful sights you ever want to see. See, the waterfront is your draw card. And if the waterfront is built properly, if the waterfront has all the economical output, the stores, and draw people downtown, well, that'll connect to High Street. And the waterfront also connects to Queen Street, where there's a national monument that my grandfather and 21 leaders in the community left called the GAR. There's only 2 in the country. You got to understand something. Those who came before us, they built this community with their hands and the vision. And what they did, they connected all the dots. You got to understand the dots. That's why being a native from Chestertown and left all this history, you understand how this whole economical engine works. The waterfront works. The GAR works. The Army works. High Street works, but everything got to be up and running. Not like a car down, it's just only 2 pistons running. That's why being the mayor of Chestertown and with the history we left to my ancestors and let us go into the future, that's why I'm knowledgeable. And you need somebody who's going to be there day one, who knows how to stir the ship, but also understand why they're stirring the ship.
Thank you. Ms. Geddes.
I think that the waterfront is a very important part of Chestertown and its history. It needs to be redone as not just any kind of marina, but as a destination marina. The other important thing is that we need to improve the collaboration that we have had with the college, and this is a huge step in that direction. And as long as it's well planned, there's hope that it will be an economic driver for the town. The collaboration with the college and with the general citizenship from all parts of this town needs to be part of the planning situation. The thing that, and how they present it should be presented to everybody. Through the media, through meetings, it should be presented to everybody. The concern I have is that everybody here says, if it's done properly, and we have a tendency in this town to get started on a plan, but not see it through. And that can be very expensive to the town. So my concern is that we don't just plan and then find, oh, oops, we forgot something. And then the town has to pay for all of that. So that kind of detailed, like any restoration of your kitchen or anything else, I want the line-by-line budget. I want to see the exact plans.
Thank you very much. Ms. Piper.
I've had the pleasure of serving on the Chestertown, Washington College Waterfront Revitalization Task Force since the beginning. Every meeting has been directed to the public. The Sultana Project, our county commissioners, our local government, our 30-somethings, our 40-somethings, farmers. We have had back-to-back meetings with the public. I have been to every meeting. I haven't missed one, and we have put many, many hours into this task force. This summer at the Ocean City, Maryland Municipal League conference, every member of the mayor and council was there. There was a round table with all the secretaries from Annapolis. I was the only person from Chestertown in the room with the secretaries, and my very first visit was with the Secretary of the Department of Natural Resources. When he visited last week, he said, Linda, he said, all it took was a business card, and I'm here. And he brought other people with him, and through his suggestions with grants, not only through the Department of Natural Resources, but other historic preservation grants and things like that, he suggested that we make a timeline, and the task force has taken this into consideration. And he'll be coming back again.
Thank you. Mr. Arrowwood.
I said this is the last forum, I'll say it again this one, it's awesome going last. Because you get to really learn the ideas of 6 other people, and running as a candidate, gathering these ideas from these other people instead of just saying the opposite of what another person says has been enlightening and a real strength for all of us, I think. Like Chris, I agree that it's going to be a great plan. It's going to dynamically change how Chestertown looks. When you look at the public marinas in places like Cambridge and Yorktown, Virginia, they have made a dramatic impact on improving the overall quality of the entire community, if they're done the right way. And like Holly, they need to be done in a timely manner. We have a myriad of projects in Chestertown that people have not been able to really understand their purpose and understand their timeline. And when we do a project like the marina, we need to know exactly how long it's going to take and exactly how much it's going to cost so that the entire community can be impacted by that and know that there's an end in sight. Doing a tremendous project that there's no end in sight lets people lose hope in it. Like Ms. Brown, I think that we really need to make sure that the whole community is involved and make sure it does impact every neighborhood in Chestertown. There are lots of people that to this day have never been to the waterfront except to maybe come down and watch me jump off a boat at Tea Party. And we need to make sure that they have a stake in this community. So I think that rolling out this plan is going to be a huge impact to town, but looking at how it's done, how it's presented, and making sure that all parties are involved in a timely manner is the best way we can all move forward to impact the whole town.